All right, beautiful people, we are on page 2, number 4. Write the standard form. Again, we have that standard form, ax plus by equals c, of the equation of the line through the given point with the given slope. Okay, that's a lot. That's a lot. So what we need to do, we can do this multiple ways. So we know what the slope is, and we know what the point is. So this right here, given, is a point slope. And now there's different ways to do this. I'm going to show you one of the ways, and then we can go with the other way. So because they give us a point slope, there's an equation for that. It's called the point slope form. We're not too clever with names, but that's what we got. Point slope form. Point slope form is y minus y1 equals m, let me move that, parenthesis x minus x1. Now in my class, you're going to hear me say keep, change. Keep the y, keep the minus, change the y1. M is always changed. Keep, change the x to the 1. So x sub 1 we're changing as well. Okay, let's try this. Always label your point x1, y1. Slope we have. I'm going to rewrite this formula. Y minus y1 equals m, parenthesis x minus x1. I'm going to substitute these values in. Now be careful, you must use parentheses. So y minus y1 is 5. Slope is 4/3. X minus x1 is -2. Right away, something should be jumping out at you. Jumping out. 2 negatives. If you can circle them and write it without, let me try that again. If you have 2 negatives that you can circle without crossing a number out, that means those 2 make it positive. I'm going to rewrite it. So now I have y minus 5 is equal to 4/3 x plus 2. Okay, are we done? Did we answer what the question was asking us to do? Not quite. It's asking for standard form. I don't have x and y on the same side. Before I can do that, I must distribute. So this 4/3 is going to the x. This 4/3 is going to the 2. So what I really have is y minus 5 equals 4/3 x plus 4/3 times 2. Now I wrote this a specific way because when you multiply a fraction by a whole number, you make that whole number into a fraction and then you multiply. So what we really have is y minus 5 is equal to 4/3 x plus 4 times 2 is 8. 3 times 1 is 3. So again, are we done? Do we have x and y on the same side? No, we don't. So we continue. We continue. I'm going to draw an arrow back up here. Okay, so how do we get x and y on the same side? This part is actually similar to the question we did before. I'm going to subtract 4/3 x. Subtract 4/3 x. Now, this could have been not your first step, and that's okay. That's okay. I'm going to cross those out. Those cancel out. Okay, so now I have negative 4/3 x plus plus y minus 5 is equal to 8/3. Okay. Yes, we have x and y on the same side, but we got to get rid of that 5. So I'm going to add 5 to both sides. So we have negative 4/3 x plus y is equal to 5 plus 8/3. Now that's a big fraction. That definitely is a big fraction, but we can take care of it. So I'm going to do a thinking bubble off to the side. Whenever you're adding or subtracting, Whenever you are adding or subtracting fractions, you must have common denominators. So 8/3 plus 5 We're going to put that 1 underneath. Do you notice how there's a 3 here and a 1 here? We're going to make those the same. So I don't want to change the 3, but I know I can change the 1, and I'm going to multiply top and bottom by 3, because when I do that, my 5 gets that 3 on the bottom. So 8 thirds plus 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 1 is 3. Because my denominator is the same, now we can add. So you're going to say 15 plus 8, and that is 23. And this is what you're going to write here. Are you done? You are not done. This is a very lengthy problem, because if you notice from question number, I believe it was question number 3 for standard form, there are 2 requirements. 2 requirements. Standard form, A cannot be negative, and there cannot be any fractions. So, you notice how we have a negative out here? Can't have that. Do you notice how this is a fraction and this one is a fraction? Can't have that either. So, what we're going to do is take this negative and put it on this 3. So this negative is now on this 3, negative 3 now. Remember how we got rid of the fraction on the other example? We're going to do the same thing. They actually help us by making this a 3 and a 3. Because both of these are 3, in order to get rid of dividing by 3, the opposite of that, how do we undo divided by 3? We multiply by 3, and we're going to do that to both sides. We're going to do that every single term. Every single term gets multiplied by that 3. So I'm going to finish my answer up here. We multiply by 3, we divide by 3. Ooh, I almost made a mistake. So do you remember how we moved that negative down? We move that negative down here. So make sure that you are multiplying by a negative 3, because we want to get rid of that negative as well. We want to get rid of that negative a. Let's try this again. Let's try this again. So negative 3 times 4 divided by negative 3. So these cancel out. We're just left with 4x. Negative 3 times y is a negative 3y. Negative 3 times 23, that's a big number, but we already have divided by 3, so these 3's cancel out. The only thing that's left over is this negative. We just place that negative onto that 23. That is like multiplying by negative 1. Do we have any fractions? No. Is a negative? No. Therefore, you are done. That is a very lengthy problem. Please re-watch this video many times, many times. If I have made a mistake, please let me know. Once again, this is a lengthy problem, but it will be on your assessment. It will be on your test. It will be on your quiz. So take an extra few moments to review this, watch it, pause it, do anything you need to do in order for this to make sense, okay? Again, if there's any mistakes, let me know.